Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm a full-time voice actor, and I've kind of just been winging it this past year. Uh, let's talk about that. I'm just kind of winging it. I'm working on my opening. This is the third time I tried to record this, so it's a little polished now. Um, I'll probably think on it more, but even in podcast world, I'm winging it right now. I do this. This is the way I kind of approach things. I'm not gonna just set this to the side and forget about it one day. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, um, I wanted to start. Okay, I talked in the last episode a little bit about how was leaving a company. I was transitioning into this voiceover world, and I want to call out up front that I recognize I am in an incredibly privileged position in that my wife is working full time. She is able to support us financially. She's able to pay the bills. She is a wonderful, wonderful human, my literal favorite person in the entire world that ever is, was, or will be. And yeah, she's just great, and she has supported me through this, and I love her to death for so much more beyond that, and, yeah, so she encouraged me to chase after this, that she sees a lot of potential in me doing this, and when I first started, I was not thinking I was gonna be a voice actor, I was not thinking I'd be a voiceover talent, I thought I was just gonna read audiobooks. I watched a bunch of YouTubes, got connected with Audacity, and I downloaded some ACX check, and I got on ACX's I recorded samples. All these things I started doing, pursuing that, but at the same time was talking to people within my community who had somebody in that's part of my family had a connection to somebody who is a voice actor, and they connected me with that person who told me about all these Google searches. All these things started flooding in, and I started getting more and more interested beyond audiobooks, but I always thought audiobooks would be the first thing I pursued because again, I love stories. I like reading. I can do that. And I was, through my past histories, I was a performer at a place. I was a trainer at another place. I was in customer service my entire career. So, like, I did have a way of talking that I thought was pretty swell. And yeah, I thought I was just going to do audiobooks. I thought it was going to be fun. I was going to have a good time with that. But the more I learned, the more I pursued, the more I learned up front through things like D. Bradley Baker's website, Voice Acting Mastery, the podcast. I started digesting all this information. And at the same time that I started doing that, I also was bringing a ton of assumptions into this. I don't think any of us can get away from or ignore the fact that we've got assumptions. I had assumptions coming into this industry that now I'm able to look back and say, you needed to rethink your assumptions, or you were flat wrong there, or your assumption was spot on. Well done. But we don't know that until, we get a little bit of more knowledge and we start talking with more people and we check the information, check this stuff. And through experience and life, I know I still have assumptions that, in 1, 2, 5, 10, whatever years down the line, or even days, hours, I don't know, I will continue to have assumptions and I will continue to challenge those assumptions. And that's been one of the more fun things for me in all of this is to push my assumptions. And I came into this industry with assumptions, right? I thought I need to get a demo together. I need to watch a YouTube. I need to listen to a podcast. And all that stuff was true. But I had assumptions that I could start there, that I could do that. And I'm sure somebody somewhere has done that. And I tried to do that. And it's not working yet. So, yeah, I continue to learn to rethink and challenge my assumptions. I so to kind of talk through the timeline, I left my company and started digesting this information, podcasts, websites, talking with people. And one of these people I spoke with referred me over to, like, introduced me, I should say, or like sent me a link to Edge Studio. Edge Studio is an amazing learning facility for voice actors. They help produce demos. They're kind of like a bit of a demo mill, honestly, for lack of better terms. I don't know how to say it, but you pay for the knowledge through them. You pay for the thing, and you come out the far side with a demo. And I thought, dope. That's what I want, right? I want to gain knowledge. And I had the assumption that I was in the right place at the right time. Okay, I'm going to sign up for this thing. I'm going to pursue knowledge here, and I'm going to have a demo on the far side of it. And that's what I assumed I needed in order to be able to do this job. And realistically, that's not been wrong, but it is nuanced and incomplete. The story shouldn't end there. And I greatly underestimated how much I needed beyond that. In fact, I was a little bit of that defiant child, the same thing that I'm kinda doing with this podcast. "Oh, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna do this, and nobody's gonna tell me not to." And I just pushed forward. So I went through that. I got a demo on the far side of it. I had some fantastic teachers, some amazing coaches, some really good experiences, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But I would never, ever advise somebody to take the exact same path I did there because it's been a hard fight to get up from the bottom I'm at here. I have outgrown that demo and I spent money on it. And like I said, I wasn't making a ton of money coming into it. I didn't suddenly like come on the far side with, oh, I got job after job after job. I'm suddenly making a six figure. Like none of that came with this demo, and I'm ashamed to admit it now, but that was a kind of assumption. Like I assumed I'd be able to at least make back what I invested into this industry within the first year. That was my first year goal. I kind of sat down and had a goal setting thing when I came on the far side of it with a demo and was like, oh, I'm not going to pursue audiobooks like I had assumed I was going to do. I am instead I'm more interested in explainer videos. I'm more interested in commercials. Um, and yeah, I didn't understand that a demo needed something more nuanced, I was showcasing my talent. And the podcast, the websites, the things I was ingesting were all telling me that. And I didn't wanna listen because I'm kinda swept up in this, like, I don't know, I don't wanna just say the American experience, but it really is like, I was struggling with a lot of, like, those self-worths of, like, I need to be able to provide, I need to be able to make money, I need to be able to like, my worth is directly interwoven with how much money I can make, and, like, I'm only valuable if I'm providing financial value, and I am now saying none of that is true, yeah, so I had a lot of those assumptions coming into it, and I'm excited to leave some of those assumptions behind, change how I was assuming things, and press forward. But everybody's going to come in with their own assumptions about how this all works. What works for one person won't work for another. You'll get information. And as I'm learning these things, it is important to really, really look into who you're learning from, what they're saying, and from my perspective, more specifically, or are they trying to make you afraid, belittle your intelligence, or support you along the way? And I have found that the people I learn from best are supportive teachers, the ones who are excited for the things that are exciting me, like, and are willing as well, on top of that support, to say, here's something to consider differently. Here's something you should do differently. This might work for you, but here's something I've seen work better. Or I tried that once and I need that kind of input. And um, you will find a lot of people who will also say things like, don't do this. That's the biggest failure you can do. You're going to get blacklisted if you do this. If you go to such and such site and sign up there, what are you, some kind of an idiot? Like, don't do that. Like, all those things are going to be flying at you, and it becomes harder and harder and harder to determine, like, am I am I doing the right things? Is there a formula? Am I following the formula that is going to send me into the stratosphere of success? And there is no formula. There is no A plus B to equal C in this industry. It is very much a you shoot your shot. That's it. You just continue to learn, train, get better at your craft, but you're just shooting your shot and you're hoping somebody is like, you're throwing it out and hoping you catch. In my experience, that's what I have been finding at least. And I know I'm not I don't wanna make it sound like I know what I'm talking about, because truly, the if the title of this podcast didn't tell you where I'm coming from, I am no expert of anything in this field. I am a guy who's just winging it, and I have a wonderful amount of community support now. People in this community who are so supportive, so loving, so kind, and they challenge me, they inspire me, they make me want to do better. I want this group of people, honestly, to be proud of me, and I'm proud of them, and I don't know, it's so wonderful, and I do love it. I lost where I was going with that. Oh, man. It was a single string of consciousness that I yep, yep. What did I say? A plus B, there's no formula. Supportive people, how I learn. It's gone, whatever it was. But I promise you, it was super duper insightful. Like the best. Oh, you would have felt like I knocked that one out the park. Honestly. Uh, cool. So, interrupted thoughts are probably a good place to end. But yeah, this is me starting. Ooh, oh, I should have like a not a call to action, but like a summary statement. Ultimately, you're going to come into this industry. If you are moving into this industry or you're just curious about it, you're going to have a lot of assumptions. Whether you're a new voice talent, you're an old voice talent, you're somebody looking for voice talent, or maybe you're none of the above and you're just like, this guy's podcast popped up. I don't know. You're going to have assumptions about what it is that happens in this industry. I do and did and will. Assumptions are normal, they are natural. Continue to learn though. Find the right people to teach you. If you want to go and learn from the people who use fear as a tactic, or say how try to show receipts of how credentialed they are, and you've got the money to invest in a lot of those classes, go for it. Like, I'm not here to tell anybody how to do their thing, but what I am going to say is my experience has been that this is a wonderful community of support, and I those are the people I pursue to find knowledge from, to learn from, to engage with, and to allow to be part of my circle of inspiration, I guess. You're gonna have assumptions. Find the right people who can cheer you on and pull you up the way you need. And yeah, I'm just wildly excited that you're in this and you want to one listen to me, which ah, but also that if you're somebody who wants to get into voice acting, great, like do it. I think it's phenomenal and it's so cool. It really is. I will say, and this is I don't want to get super touchy feely, but I'm proud of you. Like I really am. Even if it's something you do 10, 15, 20 years down the line, even if it's something you've been working at for 10, 20, 15 years and you just feel like you're not getting anywhere with it, I am proud of you. And if you never get into it, I'm proud of you too. And yeah, hey, this feels like a good place to end, but let's cheer each other on however we can.